You seen that? They were here the other night, and I said, bring donuts.
Girls, you want a donut? You want a donut?
Maybe they'll see everyone else.
You want a donut? You want a donut, Gary? Gary. Come here. I'm gonna go. Come here. Oh, sorry.
So I said to the council, we've discussed this an hour and a half the other night. We've done an hour and 15 minutes now. I said, I think it's time for the council to make a decision one way or another. Because then we still have the county issue to work with. Yes.
Could we, just talking,
Okay.
could we, if we declined this, I don't know what their options are, but in talks with them, could we throw out a lot larger number and say, we are not gonna accept a contract with this number, but we will revisit it if you have it at 200,000.
So I can speak to that a little bit off my call.
And I understand, they're hesitant, but
Right.
what other options they have?
This is true. Maybe, if they're up against
They need, I could totally wrong, I believe they need us when we're stable, we need to look out for our people in our town. That's just where I'm at. I don't know, I get we want to expand, but I'm very leery on, I think maybe going to the county could benefit us tremendously. I think we could see that next, if that goes through. We don't know how that's gonna all shake down. This is just, I think, too much for me to bite off right now. So that's where I'm at, on this. I just don't, especially this first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it's gonna take to get people, I'm really worried about that. And if the number came in where we can't afford not to do it, that it's just the greatest thing ever, sure, but I don't know what your thoughts are.
if we weren't as stable as we were, I know we're not robust. I want a robust system. I think the countywide has the potential to help us with that too. If we were circling the drain, then probably yes. But I agree with you, there's just so much with this, so. And I don't know if I don't know if we don't just say, well, we say we're not gonna move forward now, so it'd be a no, but, we don't have to just.
Right, so we're talking about this contract.
Right, we don't have to just say, we're gonna totally forget it. Maybe, I don't know if Ash can go back and.
Make another counter.
We like the contract, we need more money.
Yeah,
We make another counter offer to them.
Right, besides just me calling
Yes,
and.
okay.
and-
Okay, we need
What
that in
number?
a form of a motion.
I mean,
Yes.
we're not contacting. So we
Okay.
talked about this, Ash and I sat in 2 meetings with the guy and we negotiated from 100 to 130,000, they, like us, are on a budget that they decide, where are they gonna get $70,000 tomorrow to decide that this, we really need this or whatever, that's just not, I think, a reasonable plan, and certainly not something that I would endorse. I think if this, we work through the numbers, no, it's not $200,000, but the numbers that we've worked through and seen, gives us some room, and it's not that close, as far as, we're talking about bringing part-time people in to supplement the full-time staff, not hiring 3 additional full-time people to run a whole ambulance, or anything like that. So, overstating how much money, nobody's gonna argue if somebody volunteers to give us more money. But, I think they're not gonna agree with $1,000 no matter what their option. You know what I mean? Even if they had absolutely no options, that's just not something that they're gonna agree to. They can, I don't know what their options are, but.
They don't have to.
No.
But in my spot right now, that's their call. And if they don't want, then they'll have to go somewhere else. I wanna make sure that we come out on this deal and we are not shooting ourselves in the foot. I hope that's not the case. I'm worried, specifically this first 30, 69 days, when we talked about it, it's hard to hire people. I don't think we really have the staff right now that really is dying to do this. That's just where I'm at. I'm one vote. I'm one person.
So the staff already raised their hands and said, are you willing to do this? Danny said he gets burnt out on it. I said, that's a long, talking 4 or 5 hours. And Luke said he made 2 trips, go to Iowa City, that wears on you.
So is that gonna be a motion that we just ask for maybe 200?
I'll make the motion that we decline this contract, but try to stay in talks with them and if they come back and agree to, if we want to set a specific number, I think it needs to be 200,000.
Please. Second, moved and seconded. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Cobba.
Yes.
Okay, now, number 4, Rush. EMS department.
Are you not talking about, was that part of that?
So,
So, one last point on that, if your bottom dollar is 200,000, I get that, but if you're playing on a counter at 165, you just open that door, that's all I'm saying.
No cap, no, 200.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No, we're not discussing restructuring. And
why aren't we discussing that?
Huh?
Why aren't we discussing that?
It's going with out and single. They're asking for 200 and see if they accept it or not, and then we'll go into restructuring. Okay, now Garcia County. What our take on this?
Penor just approved Monday night, that's right?
Oh, did she? Okay, you talked to her?
Yeah.
Okay,
But they're sticking with their own area.
right. What they service now, and I think that was the plan, for them and us,
Yeah, and Danny, he actually is working on the dares,
okay?
and he says they just want what the area they have now, not expand that.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Sean.
I don't have anything to say.
Okay, we have the
This
agreement
one.
in front of you. All we need now is just to submit it to the county. I think
Oh, Danny, you got something first?
I will say it, theirs is done, it's ready to be sent in.
It's ready to be
It's
signed.
done.
Okay. And you said it's just the area you're covering right
Yes.
now,
Yes.
not expanding out. Okay.
And that's pretty much what's in here from, we cover pretty much what you have in here right now, right?
If you have the same proposal I do, which is the one I sent to Steve Briggs, that is absolutely not what this says.
Oh, okay. What does it do?
This says that we propose that we will put an ambulance in Guthrie Center and that we will provide backup service to a DARE depending on whatever they want, or how they would like to work that contract. Furthermore, we propose that we would help the county and take over as far as, providing them with the EMS coordinator position potentially so that they wouldn't have to hire their own. And then some administrative stuff to the smaller departments to help them up the smaller services because transporting ambulances cannot be across the whole county at all the time. So we really need the county benefits most when you grow those smaller departments so that you have EMTs placed in lots of places, so that you have these smaller services.
So when you say we take over the, I just wanted to wait till you guys are done. So when you say we take over the county EMS coordinator, does that make us a county entity then? Because we'd be getting money for that, because I know in the talks, they said they wanted a county EMS coordinator that would measure the metrics of this county then? Or does it make whoever's in that position a county employee?
No, they would give, the contract states that they would give us money and then we would do that for them. So it's like subcontracting almost. I mean, actually, that's exactly what it would be.
Where does it say that we have one station in Guthrie Center?
Yeah, I'm not seeing that either.
It does, I do.
Number 4.
It's down here. Yeah. It doesn't say Guthrie Center, right? But it says at a minimum, sewer rescue will have 2 ambulances in working conditions safe for emergency and unforeseen circumstances that are capable of responding to requests from the dispatch center and transporting patients as a result of those requests. So it doesn't say specifically Guthrie Center because obviously you're not just gonna go tell somebody, hey, this is where I'm parking my ambulance, right? So, we would have to work on, maybe the hospital would be willing to do that. Guthrie has, some old bays that they don't utilize at the moment. They would build another building or whatever. So there's different options there. It doesn't specify where it is. So, but like, it would need to be centrally located. It would have to be somewhere other than here in Stuart. Otherwise, you're not meeting their requirements.
How binding is this?
It's
Just,
It's just a proposal, right?
Right.
To the county. They could say, pound sand.
right, exactly.
Okay, and then come back. Because, I'll be honest, I thought we were just going to be covering our own area that we have now. That was my thought. I stand corrected.
so Mike Dixon, I got a question. Have you seen Knorr's proposal?
Holy moly.
Got me. Is that all of you?
I hope so.
My wife.
No, that just scared me.
No,
Like this.
they just, from what I understand, they turned it in today, and we're not looking at any of them until Tuesday.
Could I just ask a quick question? Has the rescue department seen this, or was this just something, like you asked about the Adair County or the Audubon County contract, if it was shared with the rest of the department? Was this one shared with the rest, or was this just a you decision?
No, this proposal has not been shared with them. We discussed what could happen with the county because, of course, just like Mike said, they could tell us to pound sand and, whatever. So this is not a discussion with them.
And Mike, just a quick question. If we turn in a proposal and the county doesn't like it, there is room to work with
Of course,
the
yes,
county back and forth.
yes.
I know in here, like I said, and Sean mentioned it, we would be providing EMS coordinator. I don't, in my journey up there, I guess it doesn't matter right now. Never mind. That don't matter. You would let us know if that was gonna be the case or not.
Yeah,
You would come back.
we sent out the RFP to get more of an understanding of what the 2 entities in the county are willing to do.
Right.
I think, you guys were both at some of them
Right.
meetings. Some of that stuff just kind of came to a standstill, so we put out an RFP to understand more of what the 2 entities in the county are willing to do and at what cost.
Right.
And we're kind of gonna work from there. work from there and, hopefully come up to better understanding and have a better plan.
Dan?
Well, that was my understanding too, when I wrote up the DARES, when I read the guidelines, that was it was like, this is what we think we'd like.
Yeah.
There is a provision in there where it can be renegotiated at will. So it's not like you're saying,
Set in stone.
this is my hard number, I've gotta have this. No, it means, it's kind of like a wish list, I guess. This is what you think you need to have, or based upon our figures, is what we gotta have. Or at least that's what a DARE trip is gonna turn into.
Okay, that makes sense, you
Thanks,
know?
Dan.
Yeah.
So that makes it easier now.
Yeah, it's just that, because, I know, we had our committee set up, and, just seeing this for the other council people, I can't advocate for it or against it, because, I've had little time to study it and not a whole lot of time to ask questions, so if we gotta get something turned in, we gotta get something turned in, right? If we don't turn anything in,
I don't intend to turn anything in.
turn anything.
After Monday night and the way that it went here, I don't believe that I have the support structure I need to go out and do this. We don't need to propose anything to them to keep doing what we're doing. And if that's all the more that we can do, that's all the more we're gonna do. So, no, I have no intention of giving them any proposal at all. So, vote however you want, but
Keep her on rest.
Are we done on this issue then, right now? I guess. Any,
Well, we're done.
So we don't vote?
he is not planning on turning anything in, even if we did vote. If it doesn't get turned in, we can still vote to do it, I suppose. And then if it doesn't get turned in,
It can still get turned in. As a city, we could turn it in.
That's a lot of work.
Says you can give and take on all this, and Danny said the same thing,
You had a question?
with all the towns. Yes?
So if this is really about income revenue for the Stuart EMS, abandon the entire Audubon idea altogether, because you obviously don't have people that are willing to do it. What about, can you dig into the city's budget more? I know it's not that easy to do, but if you don't wanna do the Audubon thing, doesn't sound like clearly at all. What's the other option as far as getting more funding to him to get another funded or another fully staffed crew without doing that? Is there a way to get around this as doing that for the money for the department?
I don't think we voted to say, no, we're totally against the audit thing. I don't think that's what our
I'm
vote
just
was.
saying, it doesn't sound like, you don't have a lot of people that are willing to do it either, so.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you abandon that altogether and just
No,
raise funds or
Asking for more
We're
money.
just asking for more
fundraiser
money.
or whatever.
Yes.
And Mike has said that the hospital's not gonna budge on that, so you can pretty much
Well,
count. on
don't take my word for it, that was just,
Your hard no is not your word.
well, she gave me a hard no, but I can't say that they won't budge if somebody else talks to her. I'm just one council person, I can't make a decision, so who knows, maybe somebody else does. It was a hard no, she said, but you never know, somebody else talks to her. I'm not a negotiator.
I heard no first, Danny.
Here's my thing with it. I don't think it's that we're unwilling to do it. I just think there's issues with wages, people getting overtime, et cetera. There's been a lot of flashback on that, and I get that it's more money, et cetera, out of the budget. But a lot of it is too, a lot of us have to work other jobs outside of here that they're understanding to a point. So usually our shifts go in 12 to 24 hours. Say you get a call at 5:45 a.m., your shift ends at 6. They want you to go on a transport. You have to be to your other job, say 7, 8 o'clock. You may not be back till 10, 11, noon. That's probably not going to mesh too well. Or, you know, if you have kids at home that, you know, you've got to get to because your spouse has to go to work, you've got to take them to daycare. You know, there's a lot of other factors that go into it. It's, you know, we probably sit here and sound like maybe that's not so much the case. It's just that there's a lot of other factors that go into it as well. Especially since we're not willing to, you know, pay people overtime, to compensate for those hours that they're out on the road away from home, etc. But also just, you know, like Luke said, Stuart is a very central location. You know, people do have 3-4 different directions to work elsewhere. And Stuart is a great place to work. You know, we have a wonderful community, like we have that need for EMS. But, you know, it does make it hard when you're not being competitive with the wages of other places, and you're not willing to pay your employees to work those extra hours. And I know that comes, you know, with the budget and trying to keep in budget. I understand that, but, you know, EMS is an essential service. We need to have it. We need to pay our staff, but we're not going to be able to bring more personnel in if we're not willing to have competitive wages. Not even so much if you don't have benefits. There's other people that would come in and work part-time, but you know, when they're getting paid or full hourly pay for the entire 24 hours that they work somewhere else, why are they gonna come here, get, say, 16 hours of like their uptime base pay, and then get, say, 8 hours of downtime where you make minimum wage $8 an hour? And yes, we don't get a lot of overnight calls, but when you do, sometimes you have 2, 3, 4. If you're the only provider on call, that's a lot of time. And yes, granted, you do get paid your regular wage when you go on a call. Time you'll be sleeping per se for your downtime, but that's still time away from home, time away from your family, other obligations that you're here providing service. So why are we not providing full pay for our providers? I feel as if we compensate, people would be more willing to come in and work here. Because, you know, we do have a good service. We have a lot of opportunities. We have a lot of open shifts right now that really could use to be filled, that just aren't because we don't have the providers for it, or people are working too much and that burnout's occurring. You know, oftentimes our providers have to work 3, 4, 5 days in a row just to cover, and that's a lot of time, you know, away from their families, away from home, etc. That maybe if they could just work 2 days and have someone else come in after, that would be really beneficial. But we're not going to get anybody if we're not willing to pay. So that's kind of
I
my.
told Ash, I said, check with our financial advisor too, with all the income we got from the new housing and Quick Star and Carl Memorial and all that. See what we can do.
The need for EMS is only going to increase as Stuart grows. So.
And my apologies, I did not mean to make it sound like no one would do it. I was just speaking for the Panora service that has already done it and had, you know, it turned out to be something that it wasn't. They make it sound good in the beginning and then it blows up and they can't handle it anymore, don't want to do it, burnout, whatever. So I apologize for the wording on that. It didn't mean everybody was not.
Now we get back on the Guthrie.
He's saying he's not gonna have the vacuum to do it, so that's, he's there.
If we wanted to go through, can't that be a direction from you to turn it, or can't we ask him to turn it on? It's part of his job.
Yeah, but he's telling you he doesn't have a vacuum, he doesn't have a staff to do it.
No, that's not.
No, he's talking about us.
Yeah.
Us,
We put too much time and effort and everything else just to throw away.
Mike Dixon says there's give and take. Dan said
You
the same
guys,
thing.
I mean, I put hours into this. I have all kinds of numbers, emails, meetings, like, but no, I'm not gonna do it. Nope, not worth it. I don't.
I I make the motion that we go ahead and submit it, the way it is, and, here, we'll just see where it goes.
Work with the county.
Yep.
Okay, moved by Kirkpatrick,
I'll second.
second by Dolly. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Russell?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay. All right, marketing proposal, Matt Fong.
Okay, I sent out some information. I did receive a second proposal. And I summary and a comparison. I sent that out and I have it. You should have a copy of that with you.
Thanks for doing that on short notice.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I see the second one says 2 shorter films, or shorter films, excuse me, 2 to 3 shorter films, 2 to 3 minutes each. Is that, what's that going to? Is it going to like the same social media type thing, Facebook, what?
Yes.
Gram, whatever, I don't know what it does.
Okay. Nate with marketing Main Street, that form does that, or for us.
Mhm.
He automatically uploads these.
Mhm.
This gentleman would not have that access. All of them would have to come to me. So then it would be up to me to get it out where I can get it.
Oh, you would have to put it on the media
Yes,
sites,
so-
okay, okay.
Mhm.
And that first plan, it says 2 to 3 shorter films, that's a year,
Yeah, this would just be for 1 year.
that's just for 1 year. It's not 2 to 3 shorter films a month. That's what I'm saying. It's just 2 to 3 shorter films over the span of a year.
I would have to say it would be a year based on my
I would say yes,
So
yeah.
almost quarterly type for, yeah.
Yeah, the way I was reading it, I'd guess. I'd stick
Yeah,
my
see,
neck out
that's-
there and say it'd be a year, yeah. I really do like how, Nate has in the past, being a local guy, everything else, and he's given us a discount as well. A substantial discount. And I really think he does a very good job with what and we've had a lot of people on Facebook and everything else that has interacted. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'd like to make a motion that we go with Main Street Marketing for option A for the 12 months, for 4 videos for 12 months.
I'll second that, because I think we need to keep, we're getting hotel room tax, keep that, keep.
Just to approve that on Monday.
Yes, it will be applied,
Apply
It'll be
to
applied to that, so
so it is a different.
we keep our stuff local and we should.
Okay, so moved and seconded. How do you vote? Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Russell?
Yes.
Dolly?
Yes.
Morgan? Tom?
Yes.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
And then
John, Matt.
the mowing, I talked to Jim just for a couple minutes this morning, and he's putting it out for bids because it wouldn't be till July, and that's mowing slowing down. He said Mason will just have to take care of what we have. But he did say you can throw it out there without bids up to $30,000.
Did we have anybody that was interested? Do we have anybody?
Yeah,
Can you tell us who?
yeah, Josh.
Okay, so I didn't know that, because I think at the previous meeting, so we talked about it, if it was somebody that we had a history with, we can just renew that contract. Now, if I'd known it was Josh, but when you kind of said, well, there's a couple people, so I don't know who those
I
people
mean,
are.
we could always split it up between, depends on who's busy or not. I mean, just say, well, can you do this and that? Because, I mean, Jim's wife's got health problems right now, and Mason's on his own right now. And
It's tough to keep things up. And we've got,
I think Josh did a good job when he was doing that along with the cemeteries.
yeah,
Just have Jim, if he needs help, he can have Josh or, you know, that's the whole idea is.
Oh, so he's just gonna step in when needed? is it?
Yeah, which.
Oh, okay, I thought you were just
I'm
gonna
good
give
with
it.
that because we have the money in the budget for that. Let
Okay.
us know if we need help
So if we,
with the new season.
I see.
So the new time, if he needs help from Josh, he can hire him to give him help.
I see. I thought we were just gonna hire him, period.
No.
He does it.
We'll do
Okay.
that in the next season when we have bids.
so
Question,
but yeah,
just because I know how this is gonna go. So if Jim needs help and he wants specific days and Josh is busy at the cemetery, see, when you guys had the contract, he was able to go do the stuff as needed on his schedule, not just when, you know, I'm not saying yes or, I'm just saying if Jim says, we have a town festival, we need it done, what's to say that somebody can drop right there because he's got other stuff? If you have a contract, it's on your time.
It's not, we're asking, it's, you'll take over for the rest of the year. So
Okay,
we can
that's-
get other projects.
Yeah, see,
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not on call or nothing, it's, you're going over this list again.
Okay.
And since it's under the threshold, we don't have to send it out for bid at all. Right.
So, there a few years ago when we got the bids for the cemeteries and everything else, if we was allowed up to $30,000, why did we have to go on a bid? And I can't remember what that bid was.
Because the cemetery is over 30.
It was over 30
Oh, yeah.
when, okay,
It was
okay,
over
okay.
some.
Yeah.
Oh, I do the box, that's all.
So in the meantime, what do you need this? You need
Just to take over the mower. I mean, it's slowing down already, it's gonna slow down.
Okay.
But we have no time for any other projects like the street panel out by the helipad needs to redo. But we don't have time for one guy while I mow 4 days a week.
Sure.
Okay, we'll let Jim take over that subject. We just want the council to be aware.
Approving a contract or?
So I think we need to approve that because we don't have anybody in that right now.
Okay,
Because he kind of, because
whatever
when,
you wanna do to help Jim.
when you got the third person, his contract ceased, but since we have used him in the past and we meet all that, I feel comfortable allowing Josh to take it over, and I believe it's gonna be subject to the previous contract, whatever that amount was in there.
And
Because I believe that's what it is. Is that right?
is,
That's what you told me, it would just be the same as last year.
She's gonna leave
So,
the previous.
The bid that was approved was divided over 7 months, the total was $17,500 for a total of $2,500 a month. If Josh took over now, he would be mowing June through November, that would be a total of $12,500 at the same rate as the previous contract.
Okay, that's good.
So, okay, because we do have a couple months in there, we don't want to, so I would move that.
Make a motion, moved by, okay. Second,
I'll second it.
second by Russell, how you vote? Patrick?
I think this is gonna create waves, no.
Russell,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Morgan,
yes.
Kavah.
Yes.
Well, I guess we.
Okay.
Done.
Well, Capital Improvement Project Committee,
Yeah,
Warren Barley requested to be on this, and then the reason I brought it up, I want 2 volunteers from the council, if they will, and then we've got a meeting Thursday night, utilities, and see if we can get 2 utility members and a citizen. Mike, you'll do it, and
I'll volunteer.
who?
Russell.
Okay, we got it. And then Warren Barley, and then if you can think of any other citizen that possibly want to do it.
I'll do it,
Christina's got her hand up.
I'll do it, if you want me to.
Yeah, I don't care. That's up to.
You know me, I like to be involved.
More the merrier.
Do you have a public forum built in?
We don't, but we've had enough talk, we can talk.
Can I just take 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
2,
You can time it.
Me too.
59, 58.
He'll probably want to talk about that. Okay. So I sat on council for 4 years. I've now been a citizen back here, watching everything, seeing a lot of stuff. I want to thank you for not approving Audubon County. Bad idea as a citizen, as a taxpayer. We don't have a stable department as it is. When you have to drive your own wife to the hospital because there's nobody else, that's an issue. when you tell people that you don't want them in position time at military training, that's a problem. Treat our employees like crap. It's not okay. And there's been a lot of mistakes and they kind of go unnoticed, which is not okay for me either. So I'm just letting you know as a citizen, it's not okay for things to happen the way they do up there. And I really wish that.
Don't worry, I'm gonna address that right now. First of all, most of what she said is not true.
You didn't tell him?
Second of all, I'll be short and sweet. I don't even think it'll take 2 minutes.
Just say we gotta be careful because we're getting into personnel issues here.
Sorry, looking at my calendar. What's today? As of June 26th, 6 a.m., I resigned as a City of Stuart employee. So it's 2-week notice. Clearly, I'm terrible at this. So hopefully.
You're not a terrible person.
Hey,
You're
You're
a great
down.
Sean, step back up here for a second.
I don't think we need to do that.
I know everybody's running on emotions tonight. We need to take a deep breath. We need to go to bed. If we need to, we'll have a meeting. Mayor Pro Tem, Ash, yourself, will have a meeting. I'm not gonna accept that, right? I think we all just need to calm down.
Yep.
I pat you on the back for at least wanting to expand. James and I did have a conversation during the break. He agrees. He actually said it, and I agree with him. So sorry, James. But we pat you on the back for doing what you were doing to try to better Stuart Rescue. I feel like it wasn't the time right now, or not enough money, or not enough money. But don't take that personal. I know you did a lot of legwork on that, and I appreciate it. And that's something that any of us up here shouldn't kick you in the shins for. I do appreciate that you're at least trying to expand and make more money and help the citizens of Stuart. But I think right now we just need to just calm down. Take a break, take a breather. I know emotions are high. You have your employees in here too. You probably didn't agree with what they were saying. It doesn't matter. Everybody has opinions, and that's totally fine. That's what makes the world go round. But I just want you to, let's rethink that. Let's have a meeting.
Yes, we will schedule a meeting.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Got 2 weeks.
I apologize. Dick and Ash know what I'm going to say. I believe it is time for the citizens of Stuart and the council to hear what the staff of Stuart Rescue has been going through. And I would like to have a forum at some point in time for all of us to come forward and state what's going on. The atrocities and everything else that we have had to endure during this time. If that could be under consideration, that'd be greatly appreciated. It's been swept under the rug too long.
Personnel issues have to be decided whether closed session or not. Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Anything else?